Traveling to Vienna was one of our first European tour that we did from England. We traveled from Birmingham via Amsterdam, and that was the Easter weekend, and we almost couldn't make it because of the huge delay in Amsterdam, and it took nearly 10 hours to reach from Birmingham to Vienna. But at the end, we arrived in Vienna, and that was very nice, very exciting, because this was one of our very first European tour. We walked around the CBD, and it was initially very sunny, and we went to the St. Stephen's Cathedral. It has been there since 1100, so it's a long history. It's a massive cathedral, and the city was full of people because it was an Easter weekend, so we could feel the vibe, the holiday vibe, and there were lots of horse carriages going around. Looked like a film set, and the roads were very nice. The cafes were very nice. We had coffee on an open sitting area in one of those shops, and the streets looks amazing. And then next we went to the St. Peter's church. We studied a little bit that interior of that church particularly was glamorous, and it was extraordinary. We didn't actually seen anything like this before, so it was really amazing. We took a lot of photos and videos, but that was quite a while ago, so in today's perspective, the quality of the video and image are not that great, but still the content is the same, and it still looks amazing. The dome structure and the altar were spectacular. The dome was one of the first one in Vienna with a dome structured church. It completed a long time ago, around 1733. The corners, gold-plated corners of those altars and the wall and the structures were pretty spectacular, really, and so it was worth the visit. So it was a good start. We came out, and then we saw lots of horse carriages going around. So there was a lot of horse carriages. I think that's a very touristy thing these days, but it looked like the old days. The next we went to Hofburg. That's the main palace in the CBD, in the city center, and also the Sisi Museum. She was Empress of Austria and Queen of Hungary from her marriage to Emperor Franz Joseph I, and so Sisi is an important character in Austrian history and also in Hungarian history. The museum was full of historical exhibits, including original items from her possessions, which were very gorgeous and glamorous looking items. So we toured around the museum for a while. And then we came out, and we saw the street, which was pretty amazing. Again, lots of horse carriages going around, and it looked like a street that passed the test of time. And we saw some Roman ruins. Obviously, in European cities, there are high probability of finding some Roman ruins, and so that was the case, and it looked really nice, very historical. And then we moved to a few monuments, the Kaiser Franz II monuments, and then we had a little bit of a walk around the center, and it was very nice morning, and so we enjoyed the environment, looking around different architectures. And the next thing we did, we studied this, and we found the way to the infamous Hitler's balcony. That was one of the balconies in the Hofburg Palace. So this was the balcony from where Hitler gave that speech one March morning in 1938 that he is including Austria into his Third Reich. He looked at the balcony and stopped for a while to think about the history and the people around that Second World War era, the dark era that happened in human history. Next, we visited the Natural History Museum of Vienna. And again, the architecture was spectacular. The building was really nice, and we took some photos. In Vienna, there is a fantastic tram network. Public transport is pretty good. So we took the tram everywhere, and we walked and took trams. And so it was an amazing experience in European context, and also riding on a tram and going to new places were pretty spectacular. So there are a few places like this Vienna City Hall called Rathaus, and few other places, few churches that we looked around. Although we didn't go in any of these buildings, but if you look around and walk in a street in a new city with so many historical buildings around you, you feel different. It felt different. It was really nice experience to go around and look at these architectures. Vienna looked very nice. It was like Paris, another Paris, and also in some context even better. This church is particularly votive church. It's a church that has a history of assassination involved. That was Emperor Franz Joseph had an assassination attempt on him in 1853, but he survived. So his brother made this church thanking God for saving his life. So that was the history we studied. Next morning we had the day of visiting palaces. So first we went to Belvedere Palace. It's a very pretty palace complex which had two different levels, Upper Belvedere Palace and the Lower Belvedere Palace, and the walking around the complex was amazing. The architecture, the sculptures, and the ponds and the water fountains were spectacular. So truly enjoyed the environment and walking around. Although the weather was pretty gloomy and very cloudy and cold, but yeah, I wish we had a sunny day, but that didn't deter us to travel around, looked around. Then we were going to the main palace, the Schönbrunn Palace, which was the Summer Palace. Before that, we passed through the city and looked around a few water fountains. And this was one of the famous water fountain where this was made in late 1800 to celebrate the first spring water pipe network in Vienna. And then we arrived at Schönbrunn Palace. That's the summer palace of the royal family. We studied again a little bit of history, and just for information, that was a 300 years old history that associated with this palace. Somewhere we found that it had around 1400 rooms in the palace, so it's pretty big, and it's probably the most important architectural and cultural and historical monument in Vienna. And so we looked around, we saw there is an amazing Neptune fountain, and picture of Neptune fountain with the Gloriette in the background was marvelous. and so you can actually walk from the actual main palace up the hill, look around the whole campus, and then go to the Gloriette and take some photos. Particularly the reflection in the lake nearby was pretty amazing. And we also found a little bit of association with the Second World War between 1945 and 55. Schönbrunn Palace was an official place for Allied occupation, Allied forces base. So the Allied force were based there until the formation of New Austria. Next, we came back to the city for a nice cup of coffee with some local cakes before taking a train to the Vienna city. The Vienna city is the Vienna International Center, which is a complex hosting the United Nations office at Vienna. From the Vienna city, we visited a new development called Danube City on the bank of river Danube. It's called a city within a city. Historically, if you have a big river, then city grows around the river banks. Because of historical flooding over hundreds of years, the river banks were never really attractive to develop in Vienna until 1990s when they started to develop this new city. Today it's a bustling place with lots of office and residential apartments. In that evening, we went to a Mozart concert at Vienna Golden Hall. Please watch our videos on that Mozart concert available on our YouTube channel. So that was our 3-day tour of the beautiful city Vienna. Hope you enjoyed the video with a little bit of voiceover this time. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share our memories with your friends and family. Thanks for watching.